Before parks are open to the public, they need work. Sometimes things need to be removed, old buildings, fences, and heaps of junk. And sometimes things need to be added, trails, signs, restrooms, and parking lots. At Morgan Territory, these jobs fell to an innovative park supervisor named Roger Epperson.
Roger was a high school friend of mine. He was from Concord too. We started hiking when we were in high school and doing volunteer cleanup. Roger went to work for the Walnut Creek Open Space as an open space ranger, and then he got a job in the Park District. Roger was a talented artist. He did jewelry. Everything he did had a sense of aesthetic. He was one of the best road builders in the Park District, something we don't think about very often, but how to read the landscape. He built the road connection from Mount Diablo to Morgan Territory, the Diablo Trail.
Epperson's wife, Carol Alderdice, worked on Epperson's staff before they were married. She too helped make Morgan Territory into a visitor-friendly park.
We fenced the entire staging area with this 2-rail fence that you see across the parking lot. We put in the emergency phone and we planted the trees that you see up here. Basically just got this ready for the public because it had not been a staging area or an open park before. The original residence that was here was in just really pretty bad shape, so the East Bay Parks Fire Department burned it down as a training exercise. This house that you currently see is a replacement that Roger had brought here from Lake Del Valle. It was a building that they were going to demolish, and he had it moved here from Livermore, so it has a history too.
As I was expanding the size of Morgan Territory, he was taking on the properties that had roads all over, and he cleaned them up. He built more backpack camps than anybody in the history of the Park District. One in Morgan Territory, one at Round Valley, 2 at Black Diamond. He loved the landscape.
The Morgan Backpack Camp was built on land once owned by the Cardoza family. Joseph Cardoza was born on an island in the Azores, 850 miles off the coast of Portugal. At 17, he left his family to come to America. At first, in the late 1870s, he worked on a ranch near Danville, and possibly at Leland and Josiah Stanford's vineyard near Fremont. By 1882, he'd saved up enough to buy land here at Morgan Territory. He married in 1885 and had 10 children. To make a living, they farmed, raised cattle, and cut down oaks to sell for firewood in Livermore. You can still see bits of the basement of their home at the backpack camp. A neighbor remembers that it had glass windows brought by ship from New York through the Panama Canal, and a great view of Mount Diablo. A century later, though, when Cardoza's heirs were ready to sell, the property was not in great shape. Here's how Robert Doyle described it at a Save Mount Diablo dinner at the backpack camp.
So Roger came in here and he said, I will clean this up. And he eliminated roads. He got the California Conservation Corps to come in and cut up the brush. And today you can't tell that this place was devastated. And he says, you know what, that would be a great backpack camp. And so he proposed his backpack camp here, and the Park District lawyers came out and said, cut this tree down. And Roger said, give me a break. I'll bring a welder out, and I will put a weld next to this great rock, and I will save that tree. Roger came into this campsite, not only cleaned up the mess that was here and put that post up, he trenched a water line up to a spring that's way up that canyon, just so there'd be some water here.
Epperson died in a kayak accident while vacationing in Hawaii with Alderdice, Doyle, and his wife in December of 2008.
The East Bay Regional Park
board members agreed that Roger should be memorialized for all the work that he did and his contributions to East Bay Regional Park District. So the entire ridge is named for him, and at the foot of the ridge is a stone we had placed there that has an inscription on it, and a dedication to Roger's service to the Park District.